Welcome to Wall Street Confidential. I'm Farnoosh Torabi. Joining me, as always, Jim Cramer, co-founder of TheStreet.com. Hi, Jim.
How are you?
Well, thanks. All right, you're telling everyone to invest in Rest of World, ROW. Tell us about that acronym.
Look, I have to tell you, I've been pretty much given up on Uncle Ben Bernanke because he does not understand that the economy is divided. There's a curious dichotomy. There are companies, mostly smaller and mid-sized caps, that are domestic only, and then there's companies that have decided, like I have, that the Federal Reserve cannot be trusted and that we have a policy in this country of tolerating no inflation, not tolerating a little bit of excess growth and some inflation. And so what's happened is that companies, by their own admission, read the Caterpillar transcript and you'll understand this better than anybody. They're the most articulate. What they've said is, this is a no-growth country. So what we have to do is move everything. Dow Chemical also. Dow Chemical is big business here. They're trying to move it all to where the oil is in the Middle East, but also because they can grow business there. We are in a peculiar moment where if you have international business, you're doing well, and that's why the S&P 500, 50% of the business is overseas. And if you're just domestic, your stock is going to do nothing. There'll be periodic companies that break the rules. Black & Decker, which is a domestic company. Whirlpool, largely domestic with a big Brazilian business. But American Standard, but actually, again, has a lot of overseas. These are housing plays. Masco had a good quarter, but it was not overseas. Although there was a teeny bit that was international. But the rest of the world is not hostage to the Fed. So when you have a meeting, as we've had in the last 3 months, where it doesn't go well, where they don't give you any sign of relief, these stocks don't sell off. Everything else does.
And when you talk about overseas, you're talking about BRIC and
But yes, I'm talking about Middle East, but I'm also, Brazil leaves out Argentina, which is second largest, fantastic market, Mexico, Canada, Africa, which has come on, Central Europe has come on, Southeast Asia, away from China, has come on. So, Japan has not come on, by the way. Japan is still a big disappointment. So, what I want to emphasize is that you have to, first I did BRIC Me, and then I did ROW because I don't want to limit it to Brazil, Russia, India, and China. They're 8 to 9% growth, which is amazing. But these other countries are kicking in very big. If you read about Clorox, you'll see that Clorox is moving into places like Ecuador. That is really a recognition. Again, Ecuador is better than San Francisco.
Can I ask you about Foster Wheeler?
Yes.
Because there you have a company that has international exposure, but also machinery, which you love. So is that a combination of both?
Well, Foster Wheeler is really a net buyer of machinery. Foster Wheeler did something that everyone, it's amazing how long it took for people to credit this company. It was stuck in the 30s forever. I managed to put a nice gain. Yeah, it's 100. Put up a nice gain for ActionAlertsPlus.com. What left way too much money on the table, but as we always remember that never regret the profits, you regret the losses. Foster Wheeler is probably, every time you read of a petrochemical plant, that's Foster Wheeler. Every time you read of a clean air coal plant, that's Foster Wheeler. They're the only ones that still have the technology. If nuclear were ever to kick in, it would be gigantic.
For sure.
Yep.
All right, this has been Jim Cramer, co-founder of TheStreet.com on Wall Street Confidential, only here on TheStreet.com TV. Don't go away.